Hey everyone. Well, we just can't get away from the rain. The last video I did, I was pretty happy that everything had dried up. This is my yard. And then that night we got torrential rain and of course it flooded again. So my dig pit, it just stays wet. We got more rain today. So I decided to do a video on my hoist system that I've got. And then I'll zoom in on those guys. They enjoy my pit more than I do. And of course the water, they're geese. So let's go in the hobby room. All right, welcome to my hobby room. It's always a work in progress, and of course I wish it was bigger, but it is what it is. And so I wanted to show you guys the overhead lift system that I put in. You know, and maybe if you see this video and you have your own system, you know, do a quick video, put a link in there so we can see what you have set up. But sometimes, you know, we get these machines and they're heavy. Like this Komatsu right here is about 135 pounds or something like that. And the 6015s here on the end, they're about 135 also. But then when you take a look at the DXR2 D10s and the 360L, they've got some weight to them too. You know, if you got a bad back or a shoulder or something like that, you know, it'd be nice to have something like this to do the heavy lifting for you. So what I've got is these components here are Home Depot. And this is perforated 1 1/4 inch square tubing. This is perforated 1 inch tubing. And I think it is, what is it, like 14 gauge or something? I think it's 14 gauge. But then, you know, these eyelets that are used for lifting, they're common. I mean, you can get them anywhere. I use these Tidy Cat buckets because they're strong and plentiful. We have 3 cats, so we always have these buckets. And then I also put, you know, 1 inch square tubing on the underside just to help this 3/4 inch ply with the weight of these machines. And all right. Okay, it's kind of hard to see, but right up in here, hang on a second, I'll grab a flashlight. All right, so right up in there, you can see the trolley system that rides in this rail. And you can get these on Amazon. You can get them at Home Depot. I think you can get them at Harbor Freight. They're pretty common. The only thing you got to be careful of is make sure that the wheels fit in to the dimensions here so that they don't hit your screw heads. You know, you want a little bit of clearance. But they're pretty common. You can get 3-wheel trolleys, 1-wheel trolley, you know, 2-wheel trolleys on each side. And they're not all that expensive. And so for this hoist, I got this at Harbor Freight, and this was maybe $140 or something like that. And it works really good. It's got a remote to it. And so here's the remote. And it's pretty simple. You plug it in, push start, and up and down, whatever you want. If you want to just kill the power to it, push stop. I've got my electrical setup here. And the good thing about this setup is it rolls. And My extension cord is, or my cord's a little short, but I can slide it where I want it to go. The one thing that you got to be kind of careful of is whoops, almost dropped the phone here. A rigging system like this is 100% dependent on balance. So when you get your piece of equipment on your platform, lift it up about an inch and then find out where center is and then slide it around until it's perfectly level, and you can see this one here is sitting pretty good. And then that way you don't have to worry about, you know, your dozer or your excavator sliding off one end and getting broken. You know, the last thing we want is to spend more time in the shop, because these things do take maintenance. And what I like about this setup is that I can raise it all the way up. I can butt it up against my workbench. You know, if my brother's 988 was fixed and out of here, that's kind of a work in progress. We're waiting on parts. But it would be easy to raise it up, slide it over, drive it onto the workbench, and do what you got to do. But you know, it's kind of funny. I like working on this platform when, you know, the platform's sitting on the Tidy Cat buckets. Spend a lot of time sitting on that stool. It's perfect height for this, and you can get a lot done. It's kind of hard to see it, but the end of this rail, this, by the way, this is also from Home Depot. You know, this rail, it's 10 feet long, I believe 12 gauge, and they make that little rubber stopper where you just put it on the end so you don't accidentally run your trolley right off the end and everything comes crashing down. And there's another one right there. This is in my garage, and I put another rail, 10-foot rail up here so that I can back my truck in and, you know, drive the excavator or whatever on the platform and lift it up and put it right in the back of my truck. Easy, and then I don't have to worry about throwing out my back or anything else. Alright, so a quick demonstration of it going up and then going down. That's probably the max height that I would need to go. You know, it's pretty close to being even with my workbench. And I was going to tell you what's kind of cool here is you can get these clevises. They're kind of like snap link with a spring-loaded gate, and it just makes it so quick to, you know, snap the lifting chain into each eyelet. It's pretty nice and handy. All right, so we'll put it back down a little bit. All right, so I'll do the final adjusting to get it sitting on the Tidy Cat bucket. Sorry for the finger swipe there. So I'm kind of nearing the end here, but if some of you have something similar to this, do a quick video and put a link in. I would like to see it, and I think others would too. It's kind of good to get different ideas and different perspectives on stuff like this. So thanks for watching.